short introduction to part 2 of this video series. In part 1, and if you haven't seen it, card and link in the description, we made it to Staddajåhkå. In part 2, we are now crossing over from Sweden to Norway, partly going through and partly circling the Ny-Sulitjelma massif. And as we are circling the Ny-Sulitjelma massif, we are crossing back from Norway to Sweden until we reached Pieskehaure. And yeah, that's it for this second part. Enjoy! Yeah, where we stayed last night. So the 5th day on the trail, which will lead us inevitably over another bridge, of course, but hey, have a look at that nice force coming down there. And yeah, following the bridge, we will enter that valley here till the next way station. Quick look back from the valley we came, and we're basically still following that river, which is somewhere there in a gorge deep down, and I guess we will continue following it to wherever it comes from. And it's another wonderful day with the little clouds in the sky. There's our river again, coming out of a gorge, and at least for that stretch here it's open in the flat, and then it disappears in another gorge again, and a mosquito is sucking on my finger while I'm doing that shot. I hope you appreciate it. Yeah, our first snow field to cross. I mean, we saw snow before, we touched snow before, but we never had to walk on it up to now. And yeah, this part of the trail, no more red dots on the rocks to show you the way. Yeah, still the river. And no more 2x4s to lead you over the swampy, wet parts. Last few back into the valley, and that, can I get it from that distance? That steep gorge the river disappears to. And yeah, always when I'm filming, mosquitoes. And because we are here at the saddle between two peaks, and we will go down to that lake, I suppose. Yeah, the other peak, or yeah, more like a ridge. So we decided to take an extensive break here before we go on the next stretch. I mean, it was always an option to spend the night here, but yeah, well, it's early in the day, it's just noon, and yeah, the weather is fine, so why not press on? We had some coffee and something to eat. Yeah, we came from back there, and we were, following the lake all the way until we came to, and I don't think you can read that sign anymore, to the border to Norway. And I think we will end up somewhere there. The way so far was mostly, well, wetlands, bog, interseeded with some dry patches of grass or some rocky ground. The wettest part of the trail up to now. Our first wading through a river on this trail. We'll see how long this is and how it goes. And after wading through the river and that avian attack, the next snowfield is up. Final look back to the lake where we're coming from. Yeah, we waded that river there, and we're almost at the end of the lake. And yeah, next snowfield. What else? Yeah. So the wind is back, and so are our voiceovers.
So we walked 6 kilometers to the Swedish Sorjus.
Yeah, it's a small one.
The small one. And now we decided to continue to the Norwegian Sorjus, which is 12 kilometers or
Another
11.
12 kilometers,
Yes.
yeah.
And on this stretch, we crossed the first snowfields, and we crossed a wading piece that was there because the bridge was destroyed.
Oh yeah, they told us there should have been a bridge, but it was, swept away in the spring when the water came, and they didn't bother to put it up again, but it wasn't really that hard.
No, but what changed is that you can see some snowfields, but for the people that crossed a week earlier, clearly there was snow all over the place, and it had melted away because it was so hot.
We are almost around the lake, and these are hopefully the last snowfields we have to cross. Yeah, we came from, way back there. And so our sixth, I think so, night begins, and we are definitely in the mountains, and my battery is, and I have absolutely, as I was saying, the battery was dead, and so I couldn't continue filming. These are already pictures from the next day, and before we start to continue our journey around Ny-Sulitjelma. Last view back to the valley we came from, and today will be most interesting. Another part of the cabins here, which are really nice, but we will basically, cross that. Can you see that? That bridge. And then we somehow will go up through this valley, through the snowfields. Will be interesting, and I might not shoot that many videos. The first reindeer, well, not the first I saw another one yesterday evening, but I hadn't my camera with me, so they like it in the snow, quite up in the mountains. Last view back to the valley, and that bridge there, That's the second bridge we crossed, not the first bridge. You saw from the cabin, you can still see the lake, and yeah, well, what can I say? It still goes up. From up here you can actually see the lake again, and yeah, where we came up. Of course, lots of lake, even on water, even up here, but yeah, we still have a wee way to go. Another look back through the snowfield we just crossed, and now I guess we are almost at the top.
Can you take also these mountains over there?
I can't take these mountains over there. I've already done that before. Wow, the peak in the clouds. We made it to the top for now, and now we will continue, yeah, somewhere there to the distance, I think. So, another crossing. Yeah, we came from up there, and yeah, we're going left of the lake in this depression and probably up there, and yeah, the peaks are in the clouds. So we came over there, made it by the lake, came up here, that snowfield, and now we are confronted with this. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I said wow.
Wow, because we were already up at the end of the hard part, as we knew that this part was going to be more alpine. At least I knew that it was going to be more alpine. And it was funny because on this stretch you told me that you didn't think that it was going to be like this.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the map, and on the map everything is just two-dimensional, and it was okay, but it was most impressive. So we came from up there somewhere. We're now almost down to the lake, and yeah, the way leads up again. Yeah, we're already up the next ridge above the lake, and somewhere there it goes down, and we will have to cross another stream, bigger one this time. Yeah.
Up and down and up and down.
And always lakes. I mean, this is fascinating about the northern Norwegian, Swedish landscape. You always have water. It's, yeah.
Yeah, but this part was, I mean, we thought that we were going down, and what happened is we had to go back up. And it was not, I mean, you were lots of rocks, not so easy to walk because of lots of rocks.
Yeah, and we already climbed up quite a while, so I was pretty exhausted that day.
So was I.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, it was beautiful, and we were happy because the weather was nice and it was beautiful there.
Of course, I was wrong. So we came over that ridge, then went around over that hill, crossed that river, and yeah, walked all the way up here again. And now, yeah, I'm waiting what's on the other side of that peak. Yeah, as we were saying, it was quite taxing.
Yeah. And we took a break over that.
Yeah. We took a break before we went down, finally. And
But there was no, we did not see any, we could not see where the cabin was. We only knew that it needed to go further down, but it was just, we took a break, a long break there. And then it was, I think, at least another half hour at least. Hour, probably.
That's hopefully our destination. I don't know yet. We will follow that path, and yeah, we came from up there, left of the mountain peak, left. And so the 7th night begins, and that is not the cabin I showed you from top of the mountain where we are staying. No, it's actually this cabin. Yes. We are just skirting at the fringe of civilization, and there's electricity and whatnot, you know, running warm and cold water from the tap. But yeah, there's also still an outhouse. And yeah, the weather a wee bit icky. We'll see how it looks tomorrow. One last view back to our way station, and yeah, we're gonna leave the fringes of civilization now. The weather has cleared up a wee bit, and yeah, we're going up for a while. Would you believe they mined ore up here? It's been a while, but there, some ironworks. Yeah, they drove up here, some debris left. I've no idea. And over there, yeah, looks like, yeah, they did something over there too. Huh. Yeah, we reached another peak, and I'm not quite sure, but we should end up at a lake at some point, but I don't think it's that one. The Norwegians just love their hydropower stations. Yeah, even in the middle of nowhere. So, and there was the rock.
But maybe it's interesting because this part of the, it's only 5 kilometers from Ny-Sulitjelma to Lomi Hutta, and it's amazing because you walk up this ridge, really pretty steep, up to that ridge, and we walk through a lot of mining area, which we did not know before, that there was so much mining going on in Sulitjelma, and you can see it just everywhere. And we met a young man in Ny-Sulitjelma who told us about the lake that's going to come up at Lomi Hutta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the lake and the hydropower lake and all the, what was it, copper mining?
Copper mining.
They did in the area.
So all of the vegetation and the lakes below that are actually contaminated.
Yeah, with heavy metals and whatnot.
Yeah. So at Lomi Hutta, we realized that the old cabins around that place were...
They were all abandoned because, look at it, there's nothing. I mean, you don't want to go fishing there, do you?
Yeah. And because of the lake, because of the hydropower and its need, for so much energy. It's almost below level 10, 15 meters below normal level.
Yeah. It
In the
looks
summer.
like Mars.
Yeah, it
right
looked like
now.
Mars. And the
Yeah.
yeah. So it was beautiful in a way because it looked like we were at the seaside, and at the same time it was spooky.
It was spooky. I thought about, doing some shots and doing some reddish effects and telling them I found water on Mars because it looks like it. But yeah, I mean, nature-wise or for the wildlife,
It's hard.
it's a catastrophe.
Yes.
And also for the people, who had, cabins there.
But
Yeah.
it's crazy because you are Sulitjelma is then on one side the copper mines and what it did in the past to the nature, and now you have hydropower which runs as green energy, and it is doing another catastrophe to the nature there.
I guess everything has, its drawbacks. You got to have your electricity from somewhere. That's the Norwegian idea of a trail bridge. And I put a card link in to some Slovenian bridges. So yesterday we came down there, in relatively good weather, and we walked, down below that ridge to that little hütte, which we had, unfortunately, not the right one, no, forget it, can't find it in the Zoom. We stayed at the near end of the lake, the west end, and today, you can't see really the end of the lake. It's quite a long walk, but we decided to be on the south side of the lake, because if we would go north of the lake we would have to go over a pass somewhere there, and maybe not a really good idea. Again, shot of the cabin we stayed, and that's about halfway.
Did you say that we had to walk along a road on this side, and that was really boring to walk up that road and look at a moonscape?
Yeah, but it was really only
the weather was
for
not
a few
nice.
kilometers.
Yeah.
For a few kilometers, okay? And there were no
5,
cars.
4?
Whatever. Yeah, we left the last signs of civilization, hopefully, coming from there, and now, this looks more like nature again, and the weather is clearing up a bit. Yeah, and so we walked on.
Yeah, and before we walked on, we've actually found the entrance of the hydropower tunnel.
Oh yeah, at least one of them.
Yeah, and we found out later how this whole system works, and actually once we got back onto the path, it was very beautiful. I mean, that was sort of like a park-like situation with. You could see the lake, you could see that there was not a lot of water, but the actual path is beautiful.
And that's the, how do you call it, semi-island, half-island, or, basically it's a barrier separating that upper lake that is hydropower from the lower lake, which is not hydropower.
I would say the other way around. The lower lake, closer to Sulitjelma, is the hydropower lake.
Yeah.
And then the upper lake, where we're going to stay overnight, is
that
the upper
was
lake.
an on. Anyway, everything is fine again.
Yes, and we found the cabins and the people there.
Yeah, the one that moved from the one side of the lake when they started to transform it into a hydropower plant. They moved all
to
up or down.
To a beautiful upper lake, which is perfectly intact still. No hydropower going on there. And it was like a little village almost. We actually saw people going fishing and so on.
Yeah, people, boats,
we met some
everything.
Crazy Norwegians who told us about the beer that they had left.
They were not crazy. That was a nice group with some dogs, and they said, oh, they forgot some... Oh, there's the cabin where we will stay. They forgot a can of beer at the beach, at the cabin, and we can have it. And they told us where it was. It was very nice. I mean, come on.
Yeah. That was a pretty amazing walk. Starting on the road, which was not so nice, but then this part, beautiful, long and beautiful. And then we ended up at the super, super beautiful cabin with the name. What was the name of this cabin?
I don't know. Look into the video description.
Moya?
Something like
Moyas?
that.
Whatever. Yeah, we had our own beach. We had our own living room, and it was the first time I could open a cabin with my key.
Yeah.
So it was the first time really unlocking
and
the
that
cabin.
was really a big cabin this time, and we had it all for our own. Yeah, there was nobody else there, and we had that beach.
We took a bath.
Yeah, we took a bath, okay, but the water is still freezing point.
We were pretty high up already again, I think up to 800 again.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful there. We could see the Sulitjelma to the right and the lake just down the lake, and it was just empty and great. Yep.
Yeah, it was nice there. Absolutely.
We did our washing.
Yeah.
We sat out on our own little veranda. Yeah. So perfect evening, perfect stay.
Yeah, and we needed that rest, that nice stay, because next day, woohoo! We're fortunate to have this luxury Norwegian cabin all for us alone. There are 2 bedrooms with 4 beds in it, and yeah, you saw the living room, small eating corner and kitchen corner, and yeah, and how do you call it? An anteroom with material and where you can put your boots. And of course, out of the window you see the lake shore and the lake and the mountains in the distance. So, we're leaving our nice cabin with lake view behind, and we will go down into the next valley, somewhere beyond that ridge, to the next lake. Yeah, and the weather when we woke up was not so nice, but we can already see the next lake, and we will walk a little bit left on the shore before we go up into the mountains again. And yeah, the lake before is already out of sight, and it seems to become a really nice sunny day. So according to my GPS, we are now crossing the border back to Sweden, which runs along somewhere here. We came down there, and now we're just following the lake shore, a little bit above the lake shore.
The last red markings.
Yeah, the last red markings, Norwegian markings, and
So
now
the red T that helped us to find our way is then immediately disappears on the border of Sweden.
yeah, and promptly we got lost.
We got lost
We
in
got
the
lost
in the
there in the
greenery.
greenery. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Beautiful flowers, very high.
That might be our destination there in the distance. And yeah, we came along, high up over the lake shore, and we lost our way a few times in the vegetation, and now the way leads inland, so we might take the long way around. Yeah, and it was a long way.
From that Sorjus to Pieskehaure. But the beautiful part was that you could see back to Ny-Sulitjelma, and then see the alternative path that we could have taken if we would have wanted to walk on the other side of the lake.
Yeah, but I think that's, I'm not sure, 28 kilometers through the mountains.
And you definitely have to stay in the tent overnight.
Yeah. And the weather was
unclear.
It was okay, but you don't want to be catched really in a snowstorm or something, or a hailstorm when you are up there.
Yeah.
Not with our equipment.
I mean, it's beautiful. You can see this is, from then being in the green and then looking up to those mountains is just fantastic, and see the glacier. So I suppose at some point one would want to go up there and look at it.
Yeah, maybe when we have a little bit more experience.
Or a better tent.
Or a better tent.
Yes. But it was a long way, and it became very hot again, and it became we found a lot of berries though on that.
Oh yeah, that was berry land.
And
yeah, it's 11 p.m. The 11th night starts, and the glacier is still visible in the distance. And yeah, tonight we have this complete compound, so that's our cabin. That's there, and it is the warden cabin. That's the sauna, and that's the unescapable outhouse. So we have that all for ourselves, but for the warden couple, which we had a nice long chat tonight, and only drawback, the mosquitoes are eating me up. So we actually came all the way from over there. You still see, the lake, and the extension of the lake. And as I said, it's 11 p.m. It's quite dark, and at some point we will continue in this direction, further away from this lake. And I totally forgot to film that last bridge we crossed. Yeah, it's in a kinda sorry state, but whatever. To get to our wonderful, can I get a focus? Thank you. Cabin. Well, for, I don't know, 20 people, 24 people. And there in the distance, these small black buildings. And the bigger one is really small, smaller than the smallest cabin we have inhabited. That was the Swedish Border Patrol station. And the small building, and the small building beside it, it's not the outhouse, it's a sauna. A 2-person sauna. No outhouse, so I wonder where they did, their business.